impossible thing to do is to come down as a human being, to live like a human being and suffer like a human being. And he came down on this earth to know the world that he has created from inside out. That's how he came, just to save us. But I mean, he was talking, and his agya was such a big catch that I was just saying, the thing that he's talking about itself is evident in him, that there is no sense of humility left in him. The way, sort of he was using Christ for that. And very horrible, again, I cleared it out. My whole thing was like I was thinking he was putting up an act. And then the most miserable part was later on when he said that, what is your message for the people of other communities who are here, and what do you say? He said, we should love our neighbor, and that's how we must love you. And it's for the well-being, and that's why we have started a thing by which we give people jobs and look after them. And the thing all started with a philanthropic thing, and then it became a union, labor union, and then he became a social worker, and ultimately he ended up with an employment exchange, you see. And I didn't know what sort of a bishop is he. When is he going to talk about the emancipation of the spirit within? When is he going to talk about the evolution? And when is he going to talk that we have to be aware of ourselves? And nothing, not a word. You see, what he spoke was this, and so disappointing, I said. I mean, all the way Christ came, only just to give you jobs. Or then they had a man put up there who talked about how they are giving jobs to people who don't have jobs and how they create jobs. So the whole thing became an economic activity, you see. So understand God and his humility by saying that he should come all the way on this earth just to give us employment exchange, you see. I mean, this is how, if you are going to judge God's incarnation, I don't know what you are going to get out of them, because this is the wrong conception you have about God and his way, absolutely. And people listen to him, absolutely, I mean, without any questioning or anything, because he was a bishop elected by all of you. And he was on and on and on. So this is, one has to understand, why did Christ come on this earth? Why did he come all the way with all humility? Why did he came as a poor man on this earth? And why did he at all wanted to get crucified and to sacrifice his life for the people who were supposed to be sinners? This is what we should find out, you see, not for an employment or getting you a material gain, because he himself has said it, that a rich man can never enter into the kingdom of God. So to get jobs for people, or to get them some, there was a disabled person, and a disabled person should be helped, and that is the job of the church, and that's what they were describing, that how we help the disabled people in this country. So because he cured certain people, that doesn't mean that he came to look after the disabled hospitals and things like that, I mean. But he came on this earth for a new awareness being shot into our being. He was born at a time where human beings had no idea as to what is the eternal life, what is the spirit is, what we call the Atma is, that they never even thought that there is something like that. He was born in a place where they did not think on those lines. And though in India, say, we can say that people have been thinking about Atma and Paramatma since long, but they also achieved nothing, because they were, I should say, all the so-called religious leaders of India were busy collecting money when Christ came in. So, they were, I don't know what sort of temples they had, or what sort of pujas they used to have, or what ideas they had about God, because he came about 2000 years. And that same time, Buddhism also was spreading in India. And all these things, if you see in the collective way, you see, it's very disturbing to see people using Buddha in that fashion. You see. And it was necessary that Christ should come on this earth to tell them that it is the spirit that you have to find out. You don't have to worry about other things, but it is the spirit which is to be reborn. You are to be reborn. You are to be Christian. And that's how he came on this earth. But he could not cross the limit of Bethlehem. I mean, he was just sort of, we can say, was absolutely gated into that place because of the ignorance of the people. His message never spread out when he lived. So his purpose was to come on this earth, on the Agya Chakra, as you know that, to open it and to give a new dimension to our awareness, by which we try to understand what Krishna had said, that Nainam Chidanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavaka. Krishna had said that the spirit cannot be destroyed, it cannot be killed, it cannot be wiped out, it cannot be blown off. The Chainam Kledayantapo Nashosayati Maruta. It cannot be sucked in by any air. And when Krishna said that, people said, what sort of a spirit is that? Where is that Atma? What are you talking about? Which one it is? So Christ came on this earth because he is the essence. And he showed by his resurrection that spirit does not die. And he showed it very clearly what Krishna had said, because he was, he was Krishna's son, and that's how he did it. But before he could deliver the complete thing to human beings, they crucified him. And that is the way they respected him, and that is the way they came to him. Now in Sahaja Yoga also, we must know that if you go to Sahaja Yoga, it is not your obliging Sahaja Yoga. You see, this is how a person talks today when Christ is no more. That Christ came on this earth, it was his humility, because you understand how great he was. I mean, at least you try to pose that you understand. Then you say like that. But when you come to Sahaja Yoga, you think the Sahaja Yoga should oblige you, and not you are being sort of under the obligation of Sahaja Yoga. Visions about your spirituality through completely humbling down yourself, because it is the grace of God that must be sought for. And somebody's grace, you cannot force it down. You cannot demand it. You cannot ask for it. You cannot say that I am such and such a big king and something like that, so the grace should come to me. No, it may not come to you at all. Even you may be the highest priest of the Church of England, you may not get the grace of God. To get the grace of God, you have to ask for it. You have to be humble. It is like we expect to go to the king's palace, and then we want that the king should come forward, he should kneel down, and he should take you by hand and make you sit on the throne. I mean, this is something absurd. We can understand that. But even more than that is an incarnation. An incarnation comes down in complete humility, not to be humiliated, but to make you understand that an incarnation has come all the way for your emancipation and for your spiritual growth. Then you should, with great surrendering and great humility, should accept it. But the general attitude, you have seen how Sahaja Yogis, before coming and after coming, how they realize how others are behaving towards Sahaja Yoga. They have no humility about it. They think, oh, we'll come and judge Mataji, we'll see how she is, we'll watch her, we'll do this, or we'll come and see the Sahaja Yogis are like this. They never come with the idea that they have to receive it out of their own humility, because they have asked for it. That's why they are going to have it. On the contrary, they behave so funnily. Despite that, they get it. Despite that, they get their realization. Despite that, they get everything. But one should know that somehow or other, you should try to tell those who come. Now they'll be coming down here. See, I'll be not here, and they'll be coming to see you. Many people know about your address. Then you should tell them that we have to realize, if we have to get something, then there should be an area created within us through our humility. Like if you throw a stone in the Ganges, you do not get any water out of it. But if you are a pitcher, if there is an area which can take that water in, then only you can fill in the Ganges. Now, if you go to the Ganges and tell her, abuse her and say, oh, you Ganges, come along to my house, will she come to your house? In the same way, one has to understand an incarnation or a blessing of God or grace of God. You have to ask for it and humble down for it. They have all the rituals. For example, if you go to the church, there's a kneel down, and even the priest would say kneel down before him, though he may not be a realized soul or anything. This Bishop of Canterbury or somebody who spoke today, he is not a realized soul, his Kundalini is just there frozen. But the way, you see, everybody was sort of very humble down before him. He never deserved it. According to me, he never deserves it. But we'll do that. But to an incarnation, not only that we are not humble to him, but we are extremely insulting, humiliating, and we crucify. We have to see this, human nature. It is such a terrible thing to do, and if this is done often, then the wrath of God has to come. We cannot stop it, because the way we are behaving, the way we are looking at it. Now think of Christ, how he was created, as you have seen in the Devi Mahatmya, the Mahavishnu stage, how he was created, especially in the heaven, and then how he was brought in. You have read it in the Devi Mahatmya, his creation. With all those things which are being done to him, all the powers that were given to him, and was specially asked to come on this earth, to live like an ordinary human being. Say, if you tell a king to go and live in a shack, or you can say in a place which are not meant for even human existence. In such places, if you ask a king to go and live, it will be very difficult. But they do it. They have done it. And when they come here, the attitude of the people will be completely surrendered to thank God that you have done this for us. Thankfulness. And the thankfulness is the way to joy. There's no other way. We get everything, but we never thank. Grudging type we are. Today is a day of thankfulness, that he sent his only son, as we say, and he came himself so many times on this earth, and how we have been helped by his coming here, his aspects coming down on this earth. The thankfulness, if you do not have, you will never enjoy that you have. Whatever you have got, whatever God has given you out of his grace, out of his compassion, out of his love, there is not even a second which you can spare, but thank him all the time. Only thankfulness. And when you thank him, the waves of joy will rise within you. Because we do not know how to thank him for what we have got it. See, there is no joy within us, and we are joyless people. We are very unhappy. Whatever we have, we are not happy about it. So this is the point, is that have we thanked him? Have we thanked him every moment of our life? Whatever he has given us is a great thing. The greatest thing is that he has given us realization, and he has given us the way of Sahaja, by which we can now find out ourselves fully. And the another thing is, unless and until that is done, we cannot perfect anything in this world. Nothing can be perfected. All your institutions, all your endeavors are going to be imperfect. Human being has to be perfected, and he has to get to it. And for that, only simple thing is to humble down. Humbling down is the only way you can get it. There is no way of arguing about it. There is no way of talking about it or imposing on anyone. Nothing of the kind. But how much you are humbled down within yourself is the point. Always look into your heart. Humble down, and humble down. And thank every moment, every minute. And that is the key to spark the joy out of every moment. Every moment has an ocean of joy in it. But to spark it, you must thank whatever you have got. But if you are a grudging type, all the time, if you think that, oh, I haven't got this, I haven't got this, I haven't got that, then you can never enjoy whatever you have. And that is what is the message for Christmas, for everyone, is that Christmas is the day of thankfulness, because he gave his only son to you. And he came as an extremely humble person, in a very humble abode, in a very humble birth. And that is the thing one has to know, that we have to be thankful for what we have got materially, physically, emotionally, and mentally also, whatever we have learned. While he lived in complete poverty, with complete thankfulness within him. So may God bless you. I am very much thankful for this house, that my children have got it. I am very much thankful that my children are all here and they are enjoying. I am very much thankful that I am with them and that your problems are solved. I don't know how to thank for all this, your love that you have shown, and all the beautiful things you have been thinking and singing, and how you have taken to Sahaja Yoga and working for it. There's no end to it, but you also enjoy it by thanking all the time. May God bless you.